Hi Prashant, good morning.
Hi, Arun. Good morning.
Um, let's wait for a few more minutes, Prashant. So that everyone joins, then we will start.
Yeah, sure.
Yesterday, actually, Bhaskar asked me to cancel the sessions. He told that there
Yeah,
is
yeah,
some
yeah.
organizational constraints, like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi Ravi, good morning.
Hi, Arul. Good morning, Ravi Jain.
Yeah, good morning, Ravi. Meanwhile, we can discuss like if you have any doubts, please bring up so that we will start from there and then we will wait for a few more minutes to people join and then we will start the regular session.
Sorry, Arul, you're asking something?
Yeah, Ravi, meanwhile when people joins within that time, like if you are having any doubts or anything we have covered so far so that we
Uh,
can discuss that as well.
yes, Arul. As of now, it is clear, Arul. Only thing is, I need to do little bit practice on these dictionaries on set, but I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
get
sure, Ravi.
that one. If I'll get some doubts, I'll let you know.
Yeah, sure, Ravi. Please do practice it. Otherwise, like I as I told you earlier, there is a chance there is a chance to forget everything because Python didn't have anything like a strict data type or anything. It is insisting on us to declare, right? It is even allowing us to declare something on the keywords itself, as we saw in our earlier classes. So
Yeah.
in that sense, like there is a chance for us to forget most of the things if we are not coding regularly. So coding in the sense I didn't want you all to expect to touch the code on a daily basis, at least once in 2 3 days, even after the sessions I am talking about, like at least once in 2 3 days, just go through like whatever we have covered so far in the classes, and then like you can also go through some extra materials you want, like this,
Yeah, yeah,
so that
sure, Arul.
we all will be get in touch with this wonderful programming language.
Correct,
Hi
yeah.
Bhaskar.
Yeah, hi.
Hi Bhaskar, good morning.
Hi, Arun. Good morning.
Hi Sudhir, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes and see like if other people are joining.
Yeah, sure, Arun.
Yeah, sure, Bhaskar. Hi Shyam, good morning. Okay, let me share my screen and let's start the session. Like, yeah, anyway, it's a recorded session only, right? So if people are joining late, they can see it later. understand what we are discussing here. Okay. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So let's have a revision on, like, let's go through like whatever we have covered so far for a few minutes, and then we will jump into today's topic. Okay. So far, like we were discussing about what is a variable data type, right? And we saw about how to use this Google Colab and how to create an account in GitHub, right? Also, we talked about these control structures like if conditions, elif else, and then we were discussing about the logical operators and then some comparisons, right? And then we introduced while loops, for loops. And then we talked about this basic list method, and then set methods. And then we have covered a very basic introduction about tuples. We didn't add this to the syllabus. From the last class, we have discussed about how the tuples are working. That is same like list only. Okay, but this data type we don't use much when we are doing more programming. Okay, mostly we use this list, set, and dictionaries. So on last class we have covered about dictionaries and we have covered the basic dictionary methods. So up to day 6 classes, like anyone have any doubts, please let me know. Otherwise, we will jump on to the day 7 class. Also, as I told you earlier, if anyone is interested, please feel free to share your screen for some 2-3 minutes and explain what we have covered so far. So that it will be a kind of a revision for us. And then we will jump into the day 7 class. Hello, am I audible or I'm speaking? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Shyam. Hi, Srini. Good morning. Okay, if we don't have any doubts, then let's jump into the class today. And I hope most of the people join. So in today's class, we will be talking about functions and we will be seeing what are all the built-in functions in Python. And we will see like how to define a function and how to call a function. And we will talk about what are all the function parameters and its return values. Okay. So I have created one separate notebook for this. So I hope everyone got the notebooks, this Google Colab notebooks up to day 6, right? So day 1, 2, 3 as one notebook and day 4, 5, 6 as another notebook, right? So I will be sharing one more notebook today. So this will be for day 7. And if we are having anything missed out in day 7, we will continue that in day 8. Right? As like our regular exercises, what we did in our previous classes. Same way, we will extend these classes if we are not able to cover up the topic within today. Okay. And we will be adding those notes in this notebook itself, or else we will create a separate notebook for that and we will continue. Okay. So far, we have covered about some 60% of the Python, I can say. And the remaining concepts are like this is nothing but you will be worrying about the modularity of the program. Modularity of the program in the sense like you can structure this program to be a reusable one. Okay, so from this point itself we will start this session. So in today's class the first topic is functions. Okay, functions we were already using in Python. By knowingly or unknowingly, we have used some functions in our previous classes as well, right? So what are all those functions? Those functions are called as built-in functions, okay? Built-in functions are nothing but, take for an example, what is a function? Let's talk about a function first, okay? Function is nothing but a reusable block of code. In that sense, if I am doing some repetition, okay, if I am getting a set and if I am getting a dictionary, if I am doing some operations on dictionary list, right? So if I want to do that again and again by calling, if I want to use the same functionality again and again, okay, to overcome that, what we will do is we will be simply define a function and we will put all the statements inside that function and we will call that function like this. So whenever we need. Okay, so for that particular purpose, we have something called functions. So it is nothing but it will introduce us to the modularity. Modularity in the sense we can dissect our entire Python into some small code blocks. Like this, you can understand. Okay, so our Python might be having some thousands of lines, and in that thousands of lines, 20 lines might be repeated somewhere again and again for some 5-6 times. So that alone will be some 100+ lines, right? So instead of doing that, what we will do is we will simply organize those 20 lines into a function, and we will call that function again and again wherever we want. So that this 20 lines repetition will be avoided in the program. Okay. So a block of code, wherever you are executing it again and again. So wherever you need that one to be performed. So those things and all we will be putting together and we will make it as a function like this. Okay, so this is what, because that's actually providing a functionality, right? So the functionality term is there. So that alone and defines the term called function. Okay, so this is how function works. And in this function, we have something called built-in function. Okay, built-in function is nothing but we used the print statement previously, right? So this print statement will come from the Python library itself. Okay, so this print function is there. So this is called as print function. So what it is doing, it is accessing your input and output. This is called as an IO accessor. And it is displaying whatever statements you are presenting here. So it's like our whatever you are entering here, that will be displayed to the user, right? So how it is doing, we are not writing the IO program. Okay, input and output program. So this will be packaged inside the Python itself. Okay, so this was written by the Python people who have prepared this Python programming, right? So this print is called as a function. So this print function we were using a lot of times in our program to display, right? So this is called as a built-in function. So the built-in function is nothing but the functions which came up with our package itself, with our Python package itself. Okay, Python is already having rich set of built-in functions. So those functions we are using again and again in Python. Right? So we cannot write the entire definition of this print function. Right? We don't even know what's behind this print function. We are simply using Python, and this Python program itself is having the functionality of this print function. Right? So when you are calling a print function, this is called as an argument. Okay? Or a parameter, like this we can see. Okay. So this, why we are calling it as a parameter? So anything within a rounded bracket is called as a function. Okay, so suppose in case if I am telling like Arul bracket, so Arul is a function. So this Arul is defined somewhere else and I am calling Arul here like this. Okay, so that one we will see later on how to define a function and call a function. So just for an example, I am telling about. Okay, so what for this print case itself, what is happening? So someone could have write a function like this, define print. So they could have defined it somewhere in the Python library. Okay, you are getting a user argument, right? So this argument I am telling cards, right? And what I am doing, I am just doing some kind of IO operation. Just take this argument I am just typing about how this print statement could have been defined in Python. Okay. Access the display of the user. This is hardware, right? So it is accessing the hardware. Okay. Sends the argument to that display. I'm just writing a prototype for this print function. Okay. So this is how this function might have been declared somewhere inside the Python package itself, Python installation itself. Okay. So when you are trying to access a built-in function, what happens? It will simply go and finds this definition. Okay. So consider this definition is behind this Python inside the compiler, inside the Python program itself. Okay. So inside the Python compiler itself. Okay. So what it will do, it will simply try to access this built-in function. That's why we are calling it as a built-in function. And it will try to access this print and it will pass this argument. Okay. So that will take care of executing the statements which is already present in this print function likewise. So take for an example, we have something called average and the string upper lower, right? So all these built-in functions are already there available in Python. So that we don't need to worry about doing those operations manually in Python. Okay. Python is rich in built-in functions rather than when you compare to other programming languages, those programming languages don't have this much built-in function. So everything you need to do manually like this. Okay, so we are utilizing Python's built-in function library. Okay, also there is a concept called package that also we will see it later. So that package is nothing but that is also having a list of functions. Okay, so Python packages can be installed using this pip command, Python installation package like this. Okay, so that also we will be seeing later. Okay, up to this point, any doubts? This is what is the introduction about function, and we will see each and every built-in function which we use frequently, and then we will go on to check like how to define and call a function by ourselves, and we will be seeing what's a parameter, and we will be seeing what is default parameter, keyword arguments, right? So all these things we will be seeing in today's class. So up to this explanation, any doubts?
Arul, can we print here like with the print statement? We can define the function.
No, I can define a function here in the name of print. So in that sense, what it will do, it will simply override this built-in function.
Oh, will it override built-in? Okay.
It will override the built-in function. See, after that, this function will become unusable. See, take for an example. Here, if I am defining a print function. Okay. So here I am asking like I am not printing it again here. So this print will again call this one only. So that will become a loop, right? So I'm just declaring A is equal to arg1 likewise. Okay. So now this print function will become unusable. See, print takes one positional argument, but here you are giving two positional arguments like this. So now if I run this, it won't print anything because this print function I overwrite here. This is a built-in function, right? So I just destroyed this functionality by defining it here. That's why like in our class 3 or class 1, we saw about like declaring using the keywords, right? So Python will allow us to use the keywords. But if you do that, then it will lose its original functionality. Okay, so now what we did, we just simply destroyed the functionality of this print. right? So now I have these two statements. So these two statements are not printed. It is just simply whenever I am calling this one, what it will do, it will simply take this as an argument and it is simply storing it in A, right? After that, even though if I use this print, it will simply call this one only. It's not calling the built-in function. Okay, see, it's not printing anything here, right? It's not at all accessing the output area here, right? Just because like I destroyed the functionality of this print. So means that we should not do like that. See, after this, wherever I execute print, it won't print because it is trying to call this definition only. Okay, in that sense, it will simply destroy the existing functionality. So better we should not use these keywords to in our functions so that it will be useful for us to preserve the functionality of that particular keyword. That's one disadvantage with Python. It won't even throw you any error even if you use the keyword. It will simply allow you to do that. But after that, this particular functionality will be destroyed. Okay, so to again, if I want to regain this functionality again, what I need to do, I just need to simply remove this definition. Even if I run, it won't execute. It won't print this, right? So what I need to do, I need to disconnect this runtime and reconnect it.
Arun, is there any other function where we can print the statement apart from print?
As far as I know, we use print only.
I mean, just we can try with that different function over inside the function blocks.
No. If you are good at IO programming, then you can do it. That's what I can say. Okay. IO programming in the sense you are accessing this output area, right? So this accessing this output area, displaying the values inside this. So those things and all need an IO programming expertise. Okay, so we don't have that. I don't have that IO programming expertise. So if I know how this IO accessor is working, then I can write my own print function. Instead of print, I can write an arul function also. Right inside my program manually. And instead of print, I can call arul. So that arul also can do the same kind of replication likewise.
Yes. Got it.
Or else I can do like this, like I can simply do like define. I can reuse this print function as well. Define arul. Anyway, we will be seeing function definition after this point. Okay. Here I am getting this string argument like this. Okay. String argument saying that argument 1. And if I am printing this argument 1. Okay. Here alone I can do like arul of hello world, right? Arul of 42. What it will do, it will simply pass this to here and I am printing it like this, right? This I can do, but I cannot recreate the entire print function because this needs the expertise in this IO.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is how built-in function works. So up to this point, any doubts? Okay, I'm taking the silence as no, and we are moving. Okay. The same way as like print, we have another function called len. Okay, we use this len function already, right? So it will simply returns the number of objects present in that, means that number of items present in that. So this is having a length of 5, this is having a length of 4 because we have 4 elements, and this is having a length of 2 because there are 2 items in this dictionary. Right? We already used this length function a lot in our previous classes. Okay, 5, 4, 2 we are getting. Okay. So these and all are like built-in functions. We saw print and we saw len. And we have something called type of. So this type is also a built-in function. Type we already see. Why we are using type? To check the data type. Okay, just check what this particular string or something belongs to a data type. Or a variable, if you pass a variable name, it will check that variable belongs to which data type. Okay, the type function will returns the type of that particular object. Okay, so this function also we saw a lot in our previous classes. Type, len, print, mostly we use, right? These and all are like basic built-in functions, and we have some numerical built-in functions as well. So these numerical built-in functions are like absolute. Okay, absolute, what it will do, it will simply return a non-negative number of an argument. Means that if even if you put minus something, then it will returns a positive value. It will always returns a positive value, I can say. Okay. For that, we will be using something called as absolute. So this absolute is also a built-in function. Same way we can do a rounding, number rounding also. Okay, here you can pass two arguments or either one argument. If you pass one argument, it will simply round this complete float into an integer like this. Okay, but suppose in case if you want to preserve two decimal points after this, like this, 3.14159, right? So in this, if I want to preserve only 3.14, I need to give 2 here so that it will preserve two decimals after this. After that, the remaining things and all will be truncated. Okay, what happens if I give 147 here? It's becoming on 3.15. Why? Because the third number, right? So if I am rounding it with 2, the third number it will check first. Okay, if this third number is greater than 5, right? So by that time it will be rounding it to the next figure here. These and all are the basic mathematical functions, right? So the same way, round can round it to the nearest integer like this. Okay. And we have this string built-in functions, means that it will convert a numerical value into a string, right? We have seen this also in our previous classes, string function. Okay, same way we have something called uppercase, lowercase, capitalize, right? So all these things and all are functions. So these and all are the built-in functions. So what this upper will do, it will simply convert whatever text you have provided here into uppercase. Capitalize, it will simply capitalize it. Okay, it will print it in the small letters if you do with lower. Okay, if you do capitalize, it will convert this into the first letter into capital like this. Okay, so this is how the string methods will work. Okay, so these and all are the numerical built-in functions or string built-in functions. Same way we saw about numerical built-in functions. Now we saw about string built-in functions, right? The same way we have some built-in functions for our collections. Collection is nothing but our list is there, right? So that list itself is a collection. Okay. So on top of this list, we can use a sorted function to sort this list. Okay, so this is an unordered list, right? So this is not in ascending order. Okay. So this one, if I want to make it in ascending order, what I will do, I can use this sorted function. Okay, so it will be simply convert this into ascending order if you use a sorted function. Okay, same way you have a sum function. If you do a sum, what it will do, it will simply add up all the numbers in the list. Okay, and you have max and min functions as well. In the list, you can apply max. It will return the maximum number in this list. And if you apply min, it will return the minimum number in this list. Okay, so these and all are the built-in functions. So these are the built-in functions we use in Python. Okay, so up to this point, any doubts? So that we will be moving to defining and calling. Hello, are we clear or I am speaking alone?
No, we are good.
No, it's clear.
Yeah, thank you. So I have put some do it yourself challenge as well. Like you can try it out in your free time. Okay. Try to do this exercise as well when you are having some free time. Okay. And then, as we told earlier, how we can define a function. Okay. How we can also write our own functions. Right here, these and all are the built-in functions which came along with the Python library. But we can also write our own functions and we can call it wherever we want. Even it will allow us to define a function on a keyword, but we should not use it. So if we do that, then that will lose the functionality. Previously, we saw like how I defined a function on a print statement itself, so that print statement itself lost its functionality, right? So when we are doing that, that will simply override the existing functionality. So we should not do a function declaration on a keyword. Okay. So if you want to define a function, you need to define it with the keyword called def, D-E-F. Okay. So how you are writing an if condition, right? How you are writing a for loop, while like this, right? The same way you need to define a function with the keyword called define, DEF. Okay. So this DEF stands for define. And after that, you need to put this function name. Okay. And within brackets, you can put arguments. Okay, means that if you are passing a value inside this function, okay, so this value can be called over. Okay, so if I pass Alice here or Arul here, okay, so this Arul will be passed to this name. Likewise, when you are calling a function. Okay, so this is like a kind of a variable declaration you can imagine if you are not able to understand. So this one can be varying in nature. So this one we are calling it as parameter. Okay, parameter in the sense you are passing a parameter named Arul. Okay, so this Arul is called as a parameter. So this parameter, if you are passing to this value name. Okay, so see when I do a mouse over, it is saying that parameter. So a function can contain multiple parameters. I can declare like name, age, right? And email address like this. So if you are doing like that, then you need to have a same set of calling value. See, otherwise, if it is trying to call this with only arrow, okay, and it is missing two required positional arguments. Means that I didn't mention the age and email here when calling the function. Okay, this is how you can call a function. Okay, so when you are trying to call the function, what you need to do, you need to provide the same set of parameter values. Okay, I can give like 18 and I can give like gmail.com, something like that. Okay, so it will automatically take out my name, age, and email to this. And it will simply print a greeting message all over all lines. Right? So whenever you are declaring a function, you need to keep in mind that you only need to decide how many parameters you want. Accordingly, you can define your function. And when you define a function, whenever you are calling your function, you also needs to supply the same set of parameters, same number of parameters. Okay, so this is one thing we need to keep in mind when we are defining and calling the function. This is how you can define a function and this is how you can call a function. Okay, so the same thing here also we have a write-up. Okay, so this is like a function with multiple parameters. So if you pass two parameters, it will you can perform operations on these two parameters. Okay, so this can be varying in nature. Okay, so take for an example, I want to add 5, 3. Also, I want to add equal to 10, 3, likewise. Okay. See, 8 I am getting, 13 also I am getting. Means that this particular operation, I am not doing again and again, right? What I am doing, I just declared this operation in something called add numbers. Okay. There I am putting these two. And there is something called a return statement. Okay. When you pass return, what it will do, it will simply return a value. So that value can be captured in a variable like this. See here, I'm not simply calling the function directly like this. So here what we am doing, I'm just simply calling a function like this directly, right? I'm not assigning it to any of the variable, right? Even if it's not returning anything, it's simply printing this, right? So if I am putting this to any value, it's not returning anything, right? So what it will happen if I just print the grade function. Okay, let's see. See, it's returning none. Okay, so means that when you do this function call, I'm not supplying a return statement. Okay, see, instead of print, if I am doing a return, okay, what it will do, it will simply it's just returning this, but this greet function is not having something. Okay, I will explain you this one again. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are capturing this addition in a result variable. Okay, and means that value is returned here. So this is the addition of two numbers. So that returned value is captured in this variable called result. See, this is an integer, right? So this value we are printing here. Okay, so this is why we need a return statement. Okay, when you are using a return statement, what it will do, it will simply return whatever value you want from the function. When calling a function, if you want to return something from this function, you can use this return. Okay. So this is how you can define a function with multiple parameters, and you can pass a function without parameters as well. Okay, so you don't even need a parameter inside this. You can simply define a function like this as well. Okay. In that sense, it will simply execute this function and it will just print whatever we are giving here. Okay, and whatever calculations we are giving here, I can see. Okay, so this is how you can define a function with parameters, return values, parameters, multiple parameters, and without parameters as well. And there is something called default parameter. Okay, when you have this default parameter, what it will do, it will be simply assigning this value to a default value. Okay, so this parameter is called as a default parameter. So when you call this function, even though if you don't supply a value for this parameter, what it will do, it will simply take this value as the parameter. And whenever you supply a value, this particular value will be changed to this particular value like this. Okay, this is how you can define a function with default parameters. Okay, so this is how function works. And we have something called keyword arguments. Okay. You can directly pass this function calling directly with this function keywords itself. In that sense, you can directly mention the parameter's name here when calling the function. Okay, so that's why we are calling it as keyword argument. So this is called as an argument. So in this argument, you are directly using this function. So that even though if you shuffle this also, that will automatically assign that particular value. Otherwise, you need to provide it in the same order. See, take for an example, if I shuffle this age to the end, it is equal to Canada, and if I shuffle like this, okay, now I am not giving it in the same order, right? So what it will do, it will simply map this particular value into this particular keyword. So when you declare a parameter, that will become a keyword for this function. Okay. So the same way, if you declare a value, that can be mapped to this particular keyword country. The same way, if you declare a value of 30, so that will be mapped to this parameter called age likewise. So I didn't give it in the same order how we have declared here, right? Name, age, and country we have declared here. Here what I am passing name, country, and age, right? But even though it will automatically take up that name, age, and country correctly. Because even though if you shuffle this, you are positioning your values with the keywords. Okay, so the position didn't matter when you are passing a keyword argument. Okay, so this is very, very important. Whenever we are doing, mostly we will be doing it with the keyword arguments because we don't know what's exactly present in the function parameters. Okay, where I will be saying is we will be using OpenAPI. OpenAI's API when we are doing this text generation and all. Okay, let me show you how OpenAI API looks like. See, here I am calling an OpenAI's function. Okay, so what we are doing, we are passing the keyword arguments like this. For this model, pass this one, messages, pass this one, max tokens, pass this one, n is equal to pass this one, stop is equal to this one. So this is a function. Okay, so this function is already defined in this package. Okay, but I don't know what exactly those arguments are. There might be n number of arguments. Okay, so I will pass alone only these arguments. So by that time, what I will do, I will use this keyword arguments method. So I can use this keyword position, means that I can use this keyword and I can supply an argument to that parameter. Okay, so this is called as an argument to the parameter. Okay, so that might contain model as its. Here we have name, right? The same way, the define function may contain anything. Okay, so in that cases, we will be supplying this keyword arguments like this. Okay, so this kind of function calling only we will be mostly using. So that time and all, what we will do, we will be simply passing this keyword arguments. Okay, so up to this point, anything you are not able to understand, please let me know. We can see it once again and we can conclude today's class. Okay, so in this notebook itself, we have some assignments and solutions as well. If you have some time, just go through this as well so that you will be practicing whatever we have discussed so far. Okay, so I'm sharing this notebook as well. I think you didn't get this notebook so far. Yeah, I passed this one. Okay, so please let me know if you didn't understand anything so far. Hello?
Yeah.
No, Arun, it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ravi.
There will be a questions if we practice go through it.
Yeah, sure, Srini. Yeah, please go ahead and practice these functions. Okay. So these functions are very, very important. Okay. So after these functions, we will be seeing about packages as well. When you are talking about these libraries and all, right, on the next day's class, we will be talking about packages as well. So that packages is nothing. Those packages are like a collection of functions. Okay. Mostly mostly people come to Python. Why? Because Python is rich in having the packages. Okay, so Python is having lot of packages I'm not talking about only these built-in functions. Okay, so these built-in functions are part of the existing Python package itself. Whatever you have installed in your machine or whatever this Google Colab is running, right? So there itself, this package is contains all these functions. This Python package itself contains all these functions. Likewise, there are some packages which we can directly install. Okay. So those packages also we can see on tomorrow's class. How we can use those packages and we can use functions in those packages, right? So that package is nothing but it's a collection of functions. Okay. Under that package, you can access a class and you can access that functions as well. Okay. We will be seeing about classes also. Okay. Modules, libraries, classes. Okay. On tomorrow's class. So this, I just wanted to give you a short introduction to functions today so that it will be easier for you to grasp on the remaining concepts on tomorrow.
Arul, here. Suppose
Yeah,
if
Guna.
class is done, then I have still doubt about that function. Initially, we have thought, right? Like print is a function. It's a
Yeah,
predefined. So, one second, I'm sorry.
yeah, it's okay, Guna.
So, one thing is that suppose we can try with suppose round type any of the function, we'll give it in
Yeah.
definition. Inside that, if we try to print, then it has to override and it has to print there, right? I mean, if print is also a different statement inside the function, we are going to print that value.
Sorry, Guna, I'm not at all getting your question.
Okay, suppose if it's round off 2.7, as you said, right? Round off
Okay.
2.7.
Yeah.
Then I'll call definition as function as round
Yes,
and the
correct.
argument I am passing. Okay. Then in that function, 2.7 has to go as an argument.
Yes,
So if
correct.
I print inside that just as a print statement, whatever argument I am passing, but it's
Yeah.
not working for me. Print, I'm not using round function again inside that. I'm using just print of whatever argument I am passing, but still I'm not getting. So is it
You are doing print of what, like
argument?
2.17 like this?
Yeah, the argument which we are passing as an input, just I'm trying to print that. Again, if we call round inside, then it won't work because function, that loop it.
Can you please bring up your screen, Guna, so that I can see like what exactly you are doing?
Okay.
And just stop sharing it. Yeah, please share your screen so that like
Hope
okay.
you are able to see.
Yeah,
See
I'm
what
able to see your screen.
is, usually we'll have type or some other predefined things, right? Functions and all.
Yeah,
So if I just give an input and as you said, I mean, we can override the things. So
Yes,
I
correct.
want to print this as an argument, at least whatever going here and let it come. But I am
No,
getting
no, no,
all.
no, no, that won't allow because you already destroyed the type's functionality. See, when you define a type, right? So the type is a built-in function,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
So that built-in function, when you are using that keyword again to override for your own functionality, by that time the regular functionality of that type will be destroyed.
Yeah, I don't want type functionality over there, but at least as a name type,
No,
will it
that
won't
won't allow you. That won't allow you because if you define something, that alone will that's already destroyed your functionality, right? So
Okay.
even though now you are passing type of 42, what it will do, it will simply try to pass this 42 inside this, and it will try to print that. And this time, this type again, it will get confused whether you are asking you to do a type or whether you are asking you to print something, right?
Yeah, that's what I asked earlier, Arun. Like you said, override, right? It will override this. Suppose if I give print and it will override, right? So that's why I'm asking this.
Yeah, but basically we should not do that, Guna. Why I am saying, why I am giving that as an example is Python will allow you to define a function like that. If you just simply do a define, it will do. Okay. But the thing
Oh,
is, like the existing functionality of that particular stuff, right? So that will be spoiled. That's what I am trying to say.
okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, Arun, now it's clear.
Yeah. So it's better we
I
should not
thought it's
do
working
that.
for you and it's not working for me
No,
in
no,
that
no,
way.
no, no. We should not do that actually. That's what I am trying to say. Because if you are just doing a define alone, it will let you do the define. Okay. But when you are calling that, by that time it will get confused. Hey, you are asking me to print or you are asking me to execute your own package, your own function, likewise. So by that time,
Yes, yes,
this
yes.
compiler will get confused, right? That's why it is throwing you some different errors. Like
Yeah,
okay, so
usually,
basically we should not override the existing functionality. So let
that's
it
what.
be as it
Usually
is.
keywords and these predefined functions, we can't do that. In Java side, I have a web. So I thought in
Yeah.
Python,
In other programming languages, it won't even allow you to do a definition, right?
correct,
So
yes.
it won't even allow you to do the declare a variable name, which is already a keyword. But in
Yes.
Python, it will allow you to do that. But after that, the compiler will get confused whether to
Yeah.
use it as a variable, whether to use it as a keyword.
Yeah, got it,
So
Yeah.
the declaration part, it will allow. After
Okay.
that, it will get confused. Okay. So that's why it is there. So my main intention is like, we should not use it. We should not disturb the existing functionality. Let it be as it is. Okay. Yeah, I hope this clears
got
your
it.
doubt, Guna. Yeah, please, any other doubts so that we can take it off otherwise.
Well, just 2 minutes. It is not a doubt actually. One small
Yeah,
thing
Bhaskar.
just wanted to share because I have
Yeah,
attended one interview yesterday. So they have asked one question actually, the data
okay.
engineering role. So let me
Okay.
share my screen and just explain 2 minutes and I'll not take much
Yeah,
time.
yeah, sure, please.
Okay. Can you see my screen? I think
No, Bhaskar, not it.
I hope you can see now.
Yeah, now I am able to see your screen.
Yeah, so the interviewer asked me to write a code. He said that there is a list of items with the duplicates.
Okay,
So I need a code without using any built-in function.
okay.
So just we have covered right in our previous classes, like how to use this function and then
Yeah,
this for
correct,
item.
correct.
So
Yeah,
similar
yeah.
way, I just written a small code. So I just
Okay.
defined one function
To
called as
remove
remove
duplicates.
tools.
Okay,
Yeah, so this is like argument, right? Like I have given
yes,
like that
correct.
input data.
Okay,
So and then one more variable I have taken. here
That's
I
an
am,
empty list. Yeah.
yes, empty list, right? So then we are checking here for item in input data.
Okay.
So if item not in unique list, so the first time there is no value. So first it will take one value and I am
Yeah.
trying to append in this unique list.
Okay.
So like that it will execute till that end of the value in that list, whatever is there in the
Yeah.
input data.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So after that I am calling that function here directly.
Okay.
Final result I am taking one variable and then
Okay.
I am calling my function here with the
Okay.
input argument. So whatever
Okay.
data you pass, it will remove the duplicates and give that final results.
Yes. Correct.
Just taken another example also. Without writing a code, again I have passed the values in this
Okay.
input data, and
Mhm.
again I simply used my function, whatever I have
Okay.
defined, right? That build
Yeah.
function.
Yeah.
So that also remove the duplicates actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to show the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There is one more method, Bhaskar. Like what you can do is you will pass your entire list into a set.
Okay.
Convert your list into a set,
See,
and then again reconvert your set into a list. That will remove the duplicates.
Okay. Yeah. So without using any functions, right?
Yeah, built-in
Yes.
function.
Correct.
Simple.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Correct. Got it. Because by default that set will remove the duplicates.
Yes. Correct.
Got it. Yeah. Correct. Thank
Yeah.
Bhaskar, you can try the response time by using predefined functions and by iterating how much time it's taking before iterating and after completion how much time it took. Response time. Try to print once.
you. You are saying like by using that built-in functions?
No, yeah, built-in function you are iterating and with your own for loop you are doing right for iteration.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the built-in function will give like less results, like less time we'll get in the less time because already the functions built in Python libraries.
Anyhow, you
So
have code. Just
yeah.
try once with the time how much it's taking so that we'll just get that.
Performance wise, if you ask when you are doing an iteration, that will surely take some.
Yeah.
So instead of
Yes,
that,
yes.
like, yeah, if you want to be tricky, what we will simply do, we will be simply converting it from list to set. Okay. So when you do it, like you are just passing these values into a set, right? So it sets functionality itself will automatically remove the duplicates. And then again, you want to pass it back to a list, you can do it. That is also one solution. Otherwise, you can use a built-in function as well. Right. So when you do a built-in function also, that will be taking very less time. So these two solutions will take less time. When you do some iteration, surely it will take some time because you are doing a for loop and inside that you are checking one condition, right? And then again, you are creating one more list, right? So it's a memory intensive step. Like,
Also we are
but the
giving
solution is correct only, Bhaskar. Your solution
yeah.
is correct only.
Yeah, I got, but that time I didn't get that idea. But he asked me to write a code, so in my mind it was like thinking of that code only. So I actually didn't remember that list and all, like again copying from set to list like that. I didn't realize that.
No, like whatever approach you have proposed, that is also working only, right? So the main purpose of the interviews is to get the approach, like how you are thinking. That's it.
But yeah, again to check that the timings and all here we are using only small data. I don't think so. It will give like exact timings. It's
No,
simply some.
in the left side, there is a tick mark, right? It will show like 0 second and all,
Yeah,
right? So, you know.
yeah. Because we are passing only less values.
Yeah,
So
yeah, correct. If you are having a large list, that
yeah.
time, yeah, you will be having some exact timing comparisons. But anyway, your solution is correct only. Good,
So
Bhaskar.
that is how they are asking nowadays, Arul. Actually, I mean, in that interviews, they are asking us to share screen. They are providing that predefined that screens are there, right? Some tools. So opening
Yeah,
like that, this Google Colab directly asking us to write a code and get me the output. So they are clearly seeing and testing all these coding skills.
Yeah, that's correct. That's good only. Because then how they can validate a candidate. And that too Python, right? If you compare it with other programming languages, this is nothing. Right? So other programming languages have a lot of nuances, like you need to take care of the return types, you need to take care of the variable declarations, you need to take care of this access specifiers, scopes, modifiers, lot of things. But in Python, everything is built in. So people will think like, okay, if we are saying that we know Python, they want to evaluate whether we are having some real coding skills or what. So for that kind of things and all, they will be having interviews like this. Yeah, that's good only. Also, we are also learning something. Again, one more motivational dialogue. It's always good to fail so that we can learn from our mistakes. But you gave correct solution only, Bhaskar.
Okay, thanks, Arul.
Thank you, Bhaskar. Any other doubts? Right, like yeah, Srini, yeah,
We can.
please.
Gulam, here I think we don't have anything. We can drop off.
Yeah, thank you so much, Srini. Yeah, like I will keep this bridge open for another 2-3 minutes. Like if you have any doubts, please let me know. Otherwise, you are feel free to talk.
Thanks, Arul. I'm also dropping off.
Yeah, thank you, Ravi. Bye.